Welcome to Badass in Action, the show that ignites your inner fire and propels you toward your epic goals. I'm Melanie Browning, delivering raw interviews, game-changing stories, and mindset hacks to keep you moving. Get ready, it's go time. Hello there and welcome back to Badass in Action. I am your host, Melanie Browning, and today we have an amazing special guest, Marian Noble, who is the owner of Workflow Wonder. She'll be coming on in just a minute. I just want to take this moment to let you know how excited I am to have her on here, because when you think of a badass in action, that is the first name that comes to my mind. So let's go ahead and get her on here. Marian, how you doing today?
I actually think of you when I think of badass in action because you are just a super action star just in real life on screen. And so, yeah, you're actually the first person I think of when I think of a badass.
You're awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. There's so many amazing things about you. The thing that really, really resonates with that name and why I want you on here is how you're able to just consistently take action and set up. You have all these systems in place that help it make easier for you and for all of the businesses that you work with and that you have. And like, it's just amazing to me to see the amount of productivity that you are able to get done. And I often sit back in awe and just normally scratch my head and wonder how. But you know, I've been fortunate to be able to see a little bit of behind the scenes of you just do. You do and you do and you do. Can you do you know where that part came in for you and how you're able to do that?
Yeah, I would say, being a workflow wonder comes down to that being my intention. Like, that's how I want to show up. And I think once I was clear on what my intentions are in terms of my life purpose, of what I'm here to do, of what I have to offer, it actually keeps me from being distracted by anything else but the things that I'm trying to accomplish and who I'm trying to support or what businesses I'm trying to grow and scale. And so I highly recommend taking the time to really do the life work to figure out what is it that you intend on accomplishing in this little life that we have. And for me, I use the analogy of filling up my cup and pouring it out. And so I literally will, on a quarterly basis, make a list of all the ways that I need to fill up my cup and make sure that I do those things. And then all the ways that I want to pour out my cup. And for me, that looks like several companies, currently 7 at the time of this recording, of how I'm pouring into each of those missions, and how I'm utilizing my strengths in those things.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on 7. Beautiful number. We were talking about it just a minute ago. What is your, how do you, engage with that? And is there any point of where you have priority over one or the other, or what does that look like on a day-to-day to be able to help run 7 businesses?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I didn't start that way. I started with just serving one wonderful company and realizing that I was bored because I optimized their systems so much. I was like, can I take on other clients? And he was open to it. And so I ended up taking on 2 other businesses, and then I had 3. And then I had this idea of well, let me just have my own business back. I used to have Workflow Wonder, just that was the only thing that I did. And so I decided to bring that back. And then I support my partner's business. And then I also have another business with him locally here in Asheville. It's an event venue for fun. That's just my fun business, my philanthropic business. And then, yeah, I continue to take on projects and clients and things just because I've optimized things so much that I have the bandwidth. And often what I'm doing now is no longer actually the nitty gritty clicks and operations tasks, because I utilize AI and I also have a team that I manage, and I just make sure the things get done. And I think having the experience of understanding what actually needs to get done and what doesn't even matter really keeps things streamlined. Having really healthy work environments is super important. I'm all remote, all asynchronous, and I encourage that with all of my clients and my colleagues because if we're feeling great, we're able to show up great, and then the great things that we're doing get done so much faster and easier. And so, really, again, it comes back to that intention, that choice that we're making of like, here's how I'm going to show up and be present rather than like what I used to do, working in corporate, which was just showing up for a set amount of time and doing whatever they told me to do in the way that they wanted me to do it. I love now having the autonomy to just say, okay, this is how we're going to do things because this is the easiest way, this is the fastest way, this is what's going to give the most value to our stakeholders.
Absolutely. And one of the things when I was talking to you yesterday was it really excited me of how, you approach a topic of AI where, you got more excited as you talked about it because you're able to, help these businesses do more. Whereas a lot of times when I hear people mention AI, there's a fear. And I mean, that's kind of standard because the fear of the unknown is a big thing, but it's like you grabbed a hold of it and it's like, okay, what can I help optimize more? How can I use this tool to really help people get more done? And it's not about my job's going away. It's about how can I help it shift and move and get more done and help more people? I absolutely love that about your mentality. And man, it's a good breath of fresh air with that. How do you see that among clients? Is that a pretty common thing? Or how are you able to kind of help guide people to look toward those kind of solution-based things?
Yeah, I'm fortunate that most of my clients do come with like an AI first mindset, that they're open to it. They recognize the value of it. They recognize that this is now a mainstay, that there's really nothing to be scared of. And if our competitors are using it, we should be using it as well. And we can do it in an ethical way. We can do it in a way that is wise and kind, and compassionate. I think there's a lot of misinformation out there of like, oh, AI is cheating and whatnot, but it's not cheating to use a hammer to put a nail in a piece of wood, right? Like it's a
I love
tool,
that.
it's an option that we have available now. And so if we're going to have that in such a way that's super accessible, like for $20 a month, I can have a pro version of like so many different kinds of AI models. I am able to do so much more. And even now we're getting into building agents, and agents are things that can just happen automatically. It's like having, a bodiless robot that's just doing the work for you whenever you want it to get done. And it's so funny because like when I go back to the things that are true to my productivity of like we need to have step-by-step procedures and systemize them in the most efficient way, like AI makes that so much easier now. Like I never have to actually write out a procedure anymore because AI can do it for me. And it's not like it's replacing any sort of level of creativity. It's actually enhancing my creativity. It's actually becoming my thought partner. I can come up with 10 ideas for a subject heading in an email and show it to AI and say, give me 100 more like this. And then I can do better and I can optimize things and just get better at what I want to be doing in a way that does feel aligned with the outcomes of whatever mission we're trying to accomplish in the task.
And I love that. That's one of the things that you're so good at is knowing where people want to go. Okay, or at least like getting that from people. Like you helped a lot in our business is like I tend to be kind of and you're like, whoo, you're able to draw the focus in, and then really like the SOPs and the systems. I'm just always in awe of you being able to do that, and I love hearing that AI is just helping add to that. Jumping from there, there's a couple different directions, and I'm going to see where you want to go. Do you want to jump into Workflow Wonder right now, or do you want to do a little bit more? Do you want to bring a little woo-woo into the game here?
Oh, I'll dealer's choice, Mel. I love talking about both of those in an equal manner, so you choose.
I want to know right now in your life, like what's going on as for, like what's your number one kind of go to make sure you're in alignment with the bigger picture, like with your purpose and what speaks to you, and how do you stay on track with that? What does that look like for Marian?
Yeah, definitely the exercise I just told you. I just did it like last week. And so that really fuels me each quarter to make sure that I'm in alignment. And part of that exercise is recognizing that in my life, everything that I'm doing is interacting with humans. And so I literally will make a list of all of the humans that I'm interacting with, like family, friends, colleagues, clients, all the stakeholders, my neighbors, my local community, and that I'm serving. And I get clear on like how am I interacting with them? At what cadence am I interacting with them? And making sure that all of the things that I'm doing with every moment of my time is in service to some sort of intention that I have with the people that I'm interacting with, um, according to whatever my mission is at that time. And it has morphed and evolved, but in general, it is all about utilizing, my presence and devotion to encourage growth in others. And so on a daily basis, I actually have what I call my alignment ritual every morning. And that is looking at whatever affirmations I'm feeling that day. I like to pull cards and talk to my spirit guides because I'm really wooey. And I read tarot and all of that. And then I also am looking at my calendar because my calendar is truly a spiritual tool for me. It is also an extremely important wealth tool for me. It is my relational tool. My calendar is everything because it is a visual depiction of my whole life. And so I look at my calendar every morning and I'm making sure that that is in alignment. And with 7 companies, we're looking at least 7 colors on that calendar and seeing like how that shows up and what colors need to have a greater amount of space in my calendar that day versus others.
That's so powerful. I love that image of like, that calendar, and that's like a snapshot. That's so beautiful. Working with clients, how hard or easy is it, do you find, being able to get them to kind of speak that language or at least see that perspective if that's not something that they're used to?
Yeah, when I'm helping people with that want to have like a calendar with its time blocked with their intentions and stuff, we just start small. We start with like usually it's their work life that they want to do, or maybe they're coming to me burnt out, and so we actually focus on their personal life and like, can we schedule some sleep? Can we schedule some meals? Can we put that all in there? And then, with my fractional COO clients, with all of the businesses that I'm running, for them, it doesn't even matter. They don't need to adopt to my philosophies to get served the way that I operate. And so most of my clients don't actually do anything that I recommend in my own business, but it doesn't matter because I'm getting the things done that they want to get done, and they're doing what I need them to do, which is communicate their strategic intentions of whatever it is they're wanting me to run in their business. And so, yeah, it's when I help people with their calendars, it's usually never as like extreme as I personally will do it, but they can find the wins for the few intentions that they do have. So for someone who is a workaholic and they're not finding the time to go to the soccer games in the afternoons, like then that's the time block that we put in. And then every meeting needs to go around that. Right. And so we start small and then we can grow from there. And I've been doing time blocking in my calendar for over a decade now. So of course my calendar looks like a nightmare to people. But for me, it's like a art piece of love of how I'm devoted to the things that I've chosen to be devoted to.
That's so powerful because it is true. It's like, to figure out what's truly important to people, you look at where their money goes and where their time goes, and intentionally putting it on the calendar. I love how it kind of comes back to that intention, and also backtracking. I just working with you, like your level of communication is like beyond anything I've ever worked with. It's so easy to be able to know what it is that you want, and where the gaps are and stuff like that, where I need to get to, and all of those amazing things. So I want to give you a shout out because when you mentioned the whole communication, you make it so easy, because I think communication's a two-way street, but you're very good at spotting, if the what you're contributing, and if the other person's not there, how to work in and be like, hey, this is what I need from you. Are you able to do that? And you're able to like kind of backtrack and find where they're not picking up on it, or where it's just not translating back and forth. So I absolutely love that. And it's so easy to work with you on that level.
Yeah, I
Absolutely
have
amazing.
like three like tips on that. Like the first thing is productive delegation. Like I have an ebook on how to delegate, and really it's like defining like the what and the how and just getting clear with people because they can't read your mind. And then the second thing is like getting really clear on follow-up. Like we can't expect everyone to remember the things that we've asked them to do. And so being really good at follow-up and like having a personal CRM, I think is huge. A CRM, for those who don't know, is a customer relationship manager. And so I have one for myself so that I know, okay, I need to touch base with this person weekly, monthly, quarterly. Here's something that I'm waiting for from them. And so those are things that are just like absolutely vital to keeping that communication, clear and keeping those relationships really tight. And then the third thing is just being really clear on, why am I even in the relationship with this person? And going back to that and recognizing, that so often when I was starting my business or starting networking, it was always about what can this person do for me? Like, how can this person connect me to somebody else? And when I recognize like that's not a yummy way of living in the world, that's not fun for them, if they think that like I'm using them in any way. And so recognizing and pivoting to how can I give value to this person, regardless of whether they do anything with it. And then if it does come back in any way from them, awesome. But at least I know I've done good in that relationship. And so pivoting no longer instead of defining a person by what they can do for me, it's more like what can I do for that person? Like are they going to be simply like a friend in which like I'm sending them like free stuff, or getting a coffee with them or hanging out and having brunch, or are they going to be a customer, or are they going to be a business partner? And recognizing where I can add value to their life was a huge like game changer for me.
That's awesome, and that's definitely who I see and how I see you show up. Is you're always giving or offering help, and just man, so many things you have to offer. And I do love the fact that you have this very structured form and thing that gives you a lot of intention, and then you also have what a lot of people might see as woo woo or out there, and man, you cover the whole realm of it so well. It's awesome that it's all together there. Let's go ahead and jump into Workflow Wonder, and what does that look like, and how can people work with you and get involved in that?
Yeah, I just love what I do so much that I want everyone else to do it too. Like it's hard for me when I see people burnt out and overwhelmed
Mm.
and like swimming in other people's like expectations of them. And so I founded Workflow Wonder under this idea that they can all set their own intentions and they can all streamline their inboxes and streamline their communications and their relationships and get the work that they're assigned to do done so much quicker because we're not here to be workaholics. We're here to like live a really good life. And so what that means is like, yes, we're putting in effort and we're doing things, but how can we do that in a way that's super efficient so we can do even more of it, right? Like we can scale and we can help even more people. And so like the more time I free up for somebody else, the more they're able to do the magic that they do in the world, whether that is, like they're a CFO for a huge company or, they're an artist. Like I want them to be doing what they want to be doing. And so how can I streamline things that they're feeling like they have to do or part of doing what they're doing so that they can do the magic part a lot more. And so I noticed that a lot of the clients and people that come to me for help are usually people who are needing, that like win of like being able to do the thing that they're craving in that moment. So some people come to me and they just want to have a good night's sleep. You know, some people come to me and they just want to spend more time with their family. They want to take vacation. They don't feel like they can leave their business or their job because of it. Some people come to me because they want to grow so much. They're at 5 figures, they want to go 6 figures. They're at 6 figures, they want to go 7 figures, 7 to 8, whatever the case may be. They want to do more of something and they don't feel like they have the time or the energy or the resources to do that. And so anything that I can do to help somebody help themselves with it, or even just like guide them along the path, hold their hand to do it, or even, you know, as the fractional CEO, just jump into their business and do it for them so they can just be relieved of that. That's what I'm here to do.
That's so powerful. And again, being able to work with you and what I absolutely love is the energy of where you're coming at and you're saying, you know, you really focus on what it is people want. What are their needs and where can I help meet them and assist them? And again, that's just so powerful where there's so often, you know, in looking for a coach and doing the things, you know, it's, you look at what they have to offer and it's like, this is it. If it works, then that's great. If not, then, you know, but you're able to meet people and man, you're in so many different elements, versatile and compassionate. And I love the magic element that you said. Like that's the goal, is to get people to do their magic. And you know, all of that is such a beautiful magic that you provide this world too. So thank you for doing that. Where can people go to check you out?
Yeah, I'm at workflowwonder.com. And I also just want to add on to that and say, like, it would be really nice to be like, here's my 3-step formula for like optimizing your life. But like, we're all different. We all have different choices and different lives. And so I have like some ideas for how to make people's lives better. But until I talk to them, until I understand their motivations and what they want to do in the world, like everybody needs a customized solution. I believe everyone deserves a customized solution. So anything that I can do to empower them to find those creative solutions is the ideal. So thanks for taking the time to chat with me today.
Yeah, and I mean, you're so well versed in so many different things, in you know, in mindset, in energy work, in optimizing things. And that's what I love is you're able to tap in and tune in to really connect and to kind of, you know, reflect that back to people, you know, when it's needed. Like you can, hey, that's I hear what you're saying, and this is also what I'm seeing and hearing. And so, yeah, anyone watching that, you know, you're looking to get into that and you want to, any of the things that Marian mentioned, she's absolutely amazing human being, and you will be just astonished at the speed in which she's able to get things done. It's absolutely
I'm the
phenomenal.
most productive person anyone knows. That's
anyone.
I'm a workflow wonder. It's in the name.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Oh,
Thanks,
man,
Mel.
it's so good to see you again.
Good to see
Thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you check her out and connect with her and see what she's up to. And man, you can get so much more done. Thanks again for joining Badass in Action. Thanks for tuning in to Badass in Action. Drop a quick note, DM, comment, or review, letting me know the moment that hit hardest or the questions it sparked. Your insights fuel future episodes. Until next time, stay badass, keep moving, and remember, you got this.